Good morning, Rick. How you doing, brother man?
Good morning, man. Can't complain. How about yourself, Tolly?
I'm doing good, man. I just had a lunch. I had a wrap. Got some fresh coffee. Ready to hit the second part of the day.
Let's go, brother. Excited. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, what's anything exciting going on this weekend for you?
Oh boy, it's been a busy week. Nothing too exciting. You know, same old, same old. We have a few Twitter spaces this week, but no, man, I'm doing well.
Busy is good. Busy is good. We like busy. As long as there's a
Oh,
little
we
bit of
do.
balance,
Busy
right?
is good.
That's the
For
hard part.
sure.
That's the hard part is keeping the balance. You know, how do you do what you love, which is to work, but then you know, maintain a balance, taking care of yourself. That's my problem. Is I love to work. I love to build. I love to be productive. There's literally nothing in the world that feels as good as working for me. But you gotta as much as I hate it, I gotta take care of myself. I gotta eat. I gotta go to the gym. I gotta see sunlight. I don't know if you're the same.
Oh, for sure. I think that's a struggle everyone kind of, struggles with, right? Like you got to be able to balance that to prevent burnout. And I think that's the biggest thing, right? Being able to find that balance between, yes, I can continue working, but I'm not burning myself to the core where I'm burnt out. So, you just got to find that balance.
Exactly. That's what's up, man. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the AMA. We're going to be doing a deep dive today with Commonwealth. We talked to them earlier this week on Monday in a massive space that we had. It was a pleasure to meet Jonathan and to kind of learn a little bit on the surface what Commonwealth is about. But we love to invite projects to do these deep dive AMAs where we kind of get to learn a little bit more about the founders, about the team, the project itself, and kind of where things are going. So before we get started here, just want to see a couple reactions from people, see how you guys are doing. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. See how your week is doing. And if you could do me a favor after you do that, support Commonwealth and myself and Rec, and just drop a like, drop a retweet and a comment, and we're gonna jump into it. And I think we're giving some stuff away today, right, Rec?
We are, yeah. Let's get to 50 retweets real quick. If you guys could drop a comment just super quickly, click that little chat icon on the bottom right. Just drop an emoji. Let's get to 50 retweets and we'll announce the prizes here shortly.
Perfect. We'll let you guys do that. I'm going to turn up the music here for just 30 seconds to a minute, and I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to be, liking, commenting, dropping a retweet, share with some friends, tag some friends, shoot it into some DMs, and we'll get this party started. Rec, what do you think about our rocktronic theme that we've been doing for our DGen Den stuff here? Do you like it?
I think it's an absolute vibe.
Cool. Love it. I do too. All right.
It's different,
Yeah. It's different. We gotta have a little bit of that, not retro, but like a bit of a cyberpunk flair to what we do here. So, I feel like it matches. Throw in some Daft Punk, throw in some Eric Prydz, maybe some Marshmello here and there. We'll see. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to everybody that just came in. Thank you so much for coming over. We're gonna be chatting with Commonwealth today. Like I said, we just did a kind of a surface level intro on Monday on our DGen Den, and today we're going to be kind of diving in and learning a bit more about mobile first early stage Web3 development. Sorry, investment. Where's my coffee? What's up, Jonathan?
Hey guys, good to be here. Thanks once again for everything you guys do, and thanks for hosting us. I think the whole team is really excited. It's been a long week. We've had our heads down, and yeah, we're trying to get ready for our Gen 2 launch, which is happening on the 22nd of May. So yeah, lots of work happening, but yeah, we're really excited.
Love it, man. All right, so we have a lot to cover. I've been looking over your website, your manifesto, which is a beautiful document you put together that really goes into depth here. But I'm gonna ask you about this project from the perspective of a newbie, because I'm sure we have a lot of newbies here. And yeah, but let me ask you, Jonathan, where are you from? Where do you live?
I'm personally from Cape Town, South Africa. I'm one of the early founders of this project. I'm not part of the executive team. Metaverse Capital is the company that I'm CEO of. We co-founded this with Master Ventures with Kyle Chassé, and very early doors, we were in search of someone that could lead this project, and we kind of knew that we needed someone good, otherwise it wasn't going to work. And we were very lucky to find Tony Kelly, who's on the stage. He's got many years of bringing product to market and many years of Web3 experience. So yeah, we found ourselves quite fortunate because when we started building this project, I think it was 15 months ago, it was kind of still hype bull market, and it was very hard to find talent at that time. So we went through a lot of interviewing, and no one really fitted the profile that we needed to come on board. And as soon as we found Tony, we had one chat with him. It was like a match made in heaven. Thankfully, he liked us as well. He loved the idea, and he's kind of been the brainchild of this whole thing, and he's been running it behind the scenes for the last 14 months. So yeah, I'm glad he's with us on stage here. He'll be able to answer a lot of the questions alongside me. Tony, you want to say hi to everyone?
Excited to be here and look forward to going through some of the details on the project with you all. So get your questions ready.
Nice to meet you, Tony. I'm Toli. I actually have some of my friends that call me Tony as a nickname. My full name is Anatoly, and I've been going by Toli for a long time. But I still have a group of friends that call me Tony sometimes. So, what's up? Nice to meet you. So what? Jonathan, what's your role with Commonwealth? And Tony, what's your role?
Yeah, so I'm one of the co-founders. We funded the project. The project needed some funding to get off the ground before we did our Gen 1 sale. There was a lot of planning and a few salaries that needed to be paid. So that's where Metaverse Capital came in. We also came up with the idea along with Kyle. And yeah, I'm just, my role in the project is I'm on weekly strategic calls with the executive team. I listen to, the work that's been done. I listen to ideas. I comment and help where I can. But yeah, as I said, I'm not part of the day-to-day operations and running of the project. I was very involved for the first 6 months, but since Tony's come on board, he's kind of brought all his expertise. He's been acting CEO as well as CTO on the project. So yeah, he is the one that runs the day-to-day operations of the project, along with Timothy McCann, who's also on this AMA.
Cool. All right. So Tony has the CTO role. He's the tech brain behind Commonwealth. Is that right?
Yeah, that's 100% correct. Tony, I don't know if you're on mute, but yeah, maybe you can just tell everyone here a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your background,
Sure.
What experience you've got and what other projects you've been involved in.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Maybe I'll respond then to Tony's question about some of the day-to-day piece as well. So my background, yeah, I've been involved in web technology since 1996, I think. And after a couple of years of working with Intel, I ended up running a game development group for within an e-learning group in Intel. That kind of obviously really fit kind of my lifestyle. I was big into games. I've been playing them all my life. So to start actually developing games for a living was a wonderful opportunity. So I flash forward a couple of years.
I feel like I just want to say I feel like that's every child's like dream. Like every gamer kid wants to be a game designer. I know that was one of my dreams. So I mean it kind of sounds like you actually got that.
It kind of, yeah. It was just this weird one of those conversations with your kind of line manager in Intel. We were looking at kind of innovative projects we could do, and I was given the opportunity to pitch it, and then he just gave me a budget to go and do it. I couldn't believe it, needless to say, but it's a lot more hard work than it looks. Trust me, they're much more fun to play than they are to build. And like particularly then, if we flash forward a couple of years, I ended up doing multiplayer games on mobile. This is pre-smartphone. And then very quickly I ended up working in a company called Demonware just before they got acquired by Activision Blizzard back in 2007. And Demonware basically build all the lobby systems, the leaderboards, matchmaking, micropayments, all the online infrastructure for powering your video games. So within 7 months of being acquired, we launched Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And of course, that blew up the internet. So I spent the next, I think, 8.5 years of my life basically supporting 600 million Call of Duty players, all the folks on Diablo, the console version, Destiny, Blur, Guitar Hero. I've had 178 games in total, so well-blooded. To John's point, I have all the scars to prove my decades in technology, you know. And since then,
do you hear that, Rex? So Tony's responsible for some of the gaming stuff you've done in the past.
I actually come from a gaming background, for those that don't know. So, you're speaking my language here, Tony.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, I'm very big into esports as well. I worked on an esports platform a couple of years ago. I still work doing consultancy on some gaming projects, but for the most part, for the last couple of years, I've worked in either fintech and payments or within blockchain. And to John's point, I wasn't looking for work at the time. I actually was coming off a contract on a Web3 game, as it happens. And I took the interview just because I really liked the recruiter. I thought he was good fun and he was quite charming. So I decided I'd take the interview. And about 20 minutes into the first call, it was a big panel of people on the call. I was kind of really taken by the vision, but there were 3 or 4 people who I just got the passion they had for what they were trying to do. It really stuck out, right? So a week later, I was invited back to the second interview, which is where I met John. And on the same call, in the same way as on the first call, 2 or 3 people just stuck out for me as just having this intense focus on a vision that they were trying to deliver, knowing almost how difficult it was going to be from where they were, you know. So it was a match made in heaven in that sense. I just threw myself into it, and we decided early on after a workshop we did in Dubai where we refined what we were going to build and our route to market. We decided then to build in stealth, and we kind of really thought that we're going to come out of this and get the community behind what we're doing. We need to come out with substance. It can't just be a nice fluffy idea and a concept that we might be able to deliver on at some indefinite point in the future. So we put our heads down and started designing, spent nearly 6 months designing before we started building anything. And now we're, I'd say close to 75-80% of the way through the development of the first version of the platform. And it's getting very exciting now as we're able to actually start revealing a lot of what we've been building and getting a lot of community feedback now, so very exciting time for us, as John mentioned. I think that
I just pinned to the top. I put up the prototype demo that's in your manifesto up to the top. Oh, yeah. You guys can tap on that and look at it. It's actually really, really cool. And I'm like, I know that like elements of of gaming and gamification are very important to incorporate into apps. And so I'm very curious to see how you guys are going to be implementing some of what you've learned in building these AAA titles or just games in general into this app. And by the way, everybody, just a quick kind of like rundown of what Commonwealth is it basically they're creating an app that basically allows anybody, just retail investors like your mother or your grandmother, to invest in early stage Web3 projects, right? So they don't have to have a MetaMask. They don't even have to set up a Coinbase, right? They could just download this app and they could invest in it. And does it function kind of the same way? So as the like are they investing in a token, or like what are they actually investing in?
Yeah, it's a good point. So we wanted to design something that would be very consumer facing. So we decided early on we'd end up having to tackle a lot of difficult problems around onboarding new users, fiat payments, etc., etc. So that was kind of part of the challenge, was to make this something that, a crypto native community could really see the value of, and where it was going, and the principles it was based on. We wanted to kind of lead with our heart and put the manifesto out there, but at the same time would appeal to the next billion people coming into crypto. Kind of one of the, I guess, early touch points we hit upon is we wanted, we're very inspired by Wall Street bets, and it was also a case of, well, we want to be the Robin Hood of crypto investing, because not only are we going to disrupt a very old, in the sense of it's the 30-year established standard for Silicon Valley investments, that's seen some disruption through the advent of Web3, but no one has really, I think, found the right solution, the best way I can put it. And I think we've hit upon what we think is a very clever hybrid model that's purely based on the best of Web3 principles. We're going to build this unstoppable machine, but make it so easy for people to use that, you break down all those barriers that stop people from being able to invest in early stage deals. So of course, we're going to have great deal flow coming in from our council. But what separates us, there's a couple of things I think that separate us from our competitors. I think one is we are purely a community investment platform. There's no VCs behind this. There's no VCs or general partners of a fund sitting at the top creaming off the profit. Every investor who invests, when the fund repays their principal investment, the profits that come back from that obviously have a carry fee like any traditional fund would have. But unlike traditional VC firms, we allow you drastically reduce that carry fee on your profit by being a wealth, that's our native token, a wealth holder. So your grandmother can come in and put $50 on a debit card and invest into, for example, a metaverse fund or an NFT fund, whatever it might be. And when that profit begins to come in, not only does she not have to wait 10, 15 years till the fund earns out, or the project she's invested in has had its exit. With Web3, we're able to start returning those profits after the vesting period. So there'll be a monthly vesting from the project that's converted into USDC and returned to the investor straight away. Once their principal has been paid off, they can reduce the staking fee. Via staking their wealth tokens, they can reduce that carry fee. The additional piece I think that we have is how we handle the profits that are generated by the platform. There's no company behind this. There's no VC behind it. So 100% of the profits that come in from the platform funds are divided up into two buckets. 15% is rewarded to the Genesis NFT holders, both the original ones and the folks who hopefully will come on board now on May 22nd. As a reward for investing in us early on and believing in us, they will receive 15% of the platform profit for life, in addition to getting a wealth allocation at TGE. The other 85% of the profit, however, sits in the protocol. It's up to the community to decide how that profit is either reinvested or distributed as rewards, or however it's going to be used. We are the ones who will decide what happens with that 85% of the profit. And in that sense...
So let me ask you here.
Yeah, please.
Oh yeah, go ahead. No, you can finish.
Well, I was just going to say, in that sense, we're not an extractive economy. Like the value of all the value in the protocol through transaction fees and profits accrues to the community and to the protocol. That I'm finished. That was me done.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. All right. So let me see if I. Oh yeah, Jonathan, did you want to add something?
No, I just kind of wanted to take a step back. I mean, Tony and I are involved in this project every day, and we kind of understand the project inside out. But if I just came across the spaces right now and I'd never heard about Commonwealth and I joined this, it would sound very complicated to me. There's this NFT, and then you kind of get wealth tokens and you get a share of the platform. And, how do you invest in these different funds? I think we kind of need to break it
Oh
down
no, for
step by
sure.
step,
Yeah,
just
for
to make
sure.
it
That's why.
easier for the listeners, because
Exactly.
I'm listening here and
Exactly.
I'm
That's why
like,
I'm here. To
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
I
That's
just
why I'm
wanted
here to
to,
break this down, to take this information and, kind of like digest it and then like reiterate it to make sure everybody can understand. That's what you're
yeah,
saying, right?
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So from what I understand here, so you've got three different, we'll just say groups here, right? So at the center of it is the money, the funds, right? So you've got the project itself, right? That wants to get funded. And you've got the retail investor that is that's investing either with fiat or with crypto into this project, right? So you got the retail investor, the project, but you've also got the NFT holders, correct? And the NFT holders, what role do they play, and what are they called?
Okay, very good point.
Yeah.
The Genesis NFT that we're fundraising or selling at the moment is purely for fundraising purposes. So the reward that those guys will get is basically the platform profit share and the wealth token allocation, and that's separate to the day-to-day running of the platform. Investment is done, as you mentioned, through either a debit card or crypto, and all the investments are USDC. And users don't invest actually into a project; they invest into a fund, and the fund invests into projects. We're doing this.
Right.
We're doing this for
Okay.
two reasons, right? We're fund-based, not project-based. A lot of launch pads and incubators are all very much project-based. We're using, that's what I'm saying, we think of it as a hybrid between a kind of more heavily managed fund that you'd find in a VC and the project-based approach, which is very prevalent in Web3. And we kind of think, there's another piece to this, which is just the galvanizing and managing and motivating the community piece around this as well, which I'll come back to later. But it's a very important part of the model. So on the fund side, there's an investment thesis. Like the council who surfaced the deal flow will propose what they think is a good investment thesis for a fund to the community. If the community want to set up that fund, they will approve it, at which point it's then open to receive any investment for a period of time from any investors who want to invest USDC into it. When the the fund cap has been reached, we then start deploying those funds into promising projects. The community of investors, not the community of wealth holders, but the actual investors in that fund, will then approve or reject each individual project. And part of the value.
So let me ask you here.
Go ahead, please.
So you mentioned the council.
Yeah.
What is the council? Is the council the NFT holders?
No, the NFT holders are just we call them the all three OGs, right? The folks from the community who backed us early on. Apart from the team.
Tony, can I just say something
please.
about the NFT holders?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So how this worked is we started this project on our own. There was Master Ventures and Metaverse, as I said, we funded it, and then we needed $1 million. So we went out and sold 2,000 NFTs at $500 each. This was 6 months ago. People bought it on blind faith. They didn't have access to a light paper. They didn't have access to a website. They didn't have access to any information, really. Kyle went out on his YouTube channel. He spoke to his community. He said, guys, I'm building a really exciting project here. I can't tell you too much more. Here's an NFT. If you would like to get involved, I think you'll be happy with the outcome. So those NFTs were sold for $500. It did take quite a long time to sell out. It took 4 or 5 months. I speak under correction, but it was somewhere around 4 or 5 months. Those NFTs now are currently sitting at about double the mint price at around $1,000. So yes, people have done well. especially considering, you know, if you look at all the other NFT collections out there, since our mint, they're down, you know, 60, 70, 80%, we have doubled. Then we were always going to release 500 more because we were going to need more funding. And then we at a slightly higher price. And then we had one of our strategic meetings and we said, guys, we're going to be selling these NFTs for $1,000. It doesn't really fit in with, you know, what we're trying to build here. We're trying to give access to the 99% that can't really afford or don't have access into these deals. So we decided to pivot a little bit, and now we're offering the second collection, the Gen 2s, at $99. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to clarify and explain a little bit about the NFTs. So we did one collection 6 months ago, which sold out, and now we are doing a second collection at $99. The utility will be very similar, except the guys that invested early will get slightly more. But yeah, I'll let Tony carry on.
If I could just ask a question on that. So you said that this second mint, the utility will be similar, but the OGs get slightly more. What is it that they're getting more of, or like what is the base utility of these NFTs, both of them?
So the Gen 1 guys will get a guaranteed 44,000 wealth tokens per NFT. So if they're holding 2 NFTs, they'll get 88,000. If they're holding one, they'll get 44,000. They will also get a profit share of the platform for life. Tony, is there anything that I'm missing there?
No, there'll be additional utility as well in terms of early access and behind the scenes and a few things like that. But no, that's effectively right, John.
So you're getting tokens right off the bat as a holder, and also you're getting a larger, or like you're getting a share of the profits.
Yeah,
outside of any additional investment that you may put in through the app.
100% correct. 100%.
I need to make this very clear, Charlie. This is not your everyday PFP collection. This is someone effectively acting as a VC. They are buying an early stage allocation into Commonwealth. So if you are an NFT holder, you are effectively one of the seed round holders into Commonwealth. We didn't take any VCs. We didn't go out to Dragonfly Capital into 3 Arrows. Well, 3 Arrows have gone under, but we didn't go out to these big VCs and say, hey guys, give us a 200K check, which we could have done easily. But we decided if we've got a whole lot of VCs on board that are getting all the profit share from the platform, then it completely defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do. So we said, why don't we give early access to the public to be the seed round investors in our project? And that's exactly what we've done. So if you're an NFT holder, you are buying into Commonwealth at a 11 million FDV in the Gen 1 series. So I mean, if you go look at the FDV of some of the other projects out there that aren't doing very much, it's a lot higher than 11 million. So we've given guys access to the project, and if you're an NFT holder, you own a piece of Commonwealth.
What piece, like how can that be quantified? Like is it a percentage, or like how's the profit distribution
all you have
work?
to do is look at the amount of wealth tokens. There's a limited amount of wealth tokens. You have to take your 44,000 wealth tokens and divide it by the circulating supply, and that'll give you your percentage of what you own in the project. So guys that own 10 NFTs, there are people out there that bought 20 NFTs, but people that own 10 NFTs will own 440,000 wealth tokens. Tony, what is the circulating supply going to be?
Max supply is 1 billion.
1 billion. So yeah, 44,000 into 1 billion will give you your percentage that you will own in Commonwealth for life. I mean, it can't get taken away from you. There's not going to be any more tokens issued. It's not like we're doing an equity round. You will just
now. Let me ask you something about the token itself here. So, number one, yes or no? Is it launched yet?
No, the token, the TGE event, we're aiming for somewhere around 3 months from now. We don't have a date finalized, but as soon as we do, that'll be announced.
Yeah. All right. So what is the token going to be used for?
So the token is used in a couple of ways. Obviously, it's used for governance rights on the platform itself as a community member. That also, the quantity of wealth tokens you hold determines the distribution of rewards you will get from the community fund and from things like profit share. And then in addition, anybody can buy wealth tokens because obviously we're going to have a lot more casual investors, kind of more crypto curious folks, perhaps using the platform too. So whether they might only invest in debit or credit card and not purchase wealth tokens. But if they wish, they can purchase wealth tokens and use them for staking to reduce the fees on their investment when the profit returns. The way traditional VC funds work is basically the VC takes a 2 or 3% management fee every single year for the duration of the fund. So that could be 12, 15 years. But in addition, they also take 20 to 30% of any profit that comes back. So they're basically, they basically profit on you taking the risk on the investment that they're supposedly managing on your behalf. And a lot of VCs are very hands off with these investments. So it's questionable the value add they bring. However, on Commonwealth, the carry fee can be reduced, and it's slightly higher. And we set it at, I think it's going to be 40%. I can't recall 40 or 50% of the carry fee, but it can be reduced via wealth tokens down to as little as 10%. So obviously the folks staking the wealth token are helping stabilize and secure the platform, and likewise, then they're also maximizing the return they get from their investments. Does that explain that utility for you?
Yes.
Totally? Yeah.
Yes, it does. Have you and I'm probably not, I imagine, because this is 3 months out for the token launch here, but have you established an initial sale price?
We have not as yet. No.
Okay, cool. I'm just kind of, I'm looking at the at the Genesis Series 1 and the Series 2 here, and I'm trying to kind of quantify the value of those tokens on launch, which obviously it'll typically these things have multiples after launch, but
Sure.
Just curious what a return could be on that if someone was to scoop up one of these NFTs right now.
We're trying to be quite careful in how we word those kind of profitability type statements. With the regulatory environment the way it is, we're still figuring out the different approaches we'll take in different regions. So I'm not sure. John, would you care to comment on any aspect of what Tony talked about? I think some of it's probably from the light paper anyway.
I mean, I can make a few comments. Listen, I'm one of the biggest NFT degens out there. I'm quite undercover. I've got a couple of thousand NFTs in my wallet. A lot of them are absolute garbage, and some of them are great. I'm a VC myself. I do my DD on projects that Metaverse are going to invest into. I take it very seriously. I've done due diligence on over 450 companies. But when it comes to NFTs, I kind of go into this like whole other world, and I'm like, wow, that art looks unbelievable. Like, even
you get an
like
emotional investment in it.
Yeah, like your spaces the other night that I was on, those guys came out with that German project, those bunnies or whatever. Like, I immediately aped into 4 of them. I thought they were so cool, and thought the website was great. And I've been like saying to Tony the whole time, like we like 2 cats in a fight. I'm like, Tony, we've got to make this artwork like unbelievable on this, for the Commonwealth NFTs. And he's like, John, this is not a PFP project. This is something completely different that no one's done. So I haven't managed to win that fight, but I have tried many times. But yeah, getting back to your point about the valuation, all I can tell you is that it will be at a higher price than the NFT. So if you go and do all your maths and you divide it, and Gen 1s bought in at an FDV of 11 million. It definitely won't be below 11 million. Other than that, I can't make any promises. I don't want to ever tell anyone, go buy this NFT, you'll do really well. It's not in my nature. I mean, things happen in this market so quickly. But in saying that, you know, I am an investor myself. I've got some of the NFTs. You can go look in my wallet. You know, I was one of the early buyers. I'll be buying the Gen 2 ones as well. So yeah, I love the project, and I really hope that it's going to do well, because, you know, I've got people like my sister who don't even live in the same country as me. She's like, John, you own a VC company in the Web3 space, and these projects are doing 100x. Like, how come you're not giving me access? I said, because, you know, it's not as simple as that. You can't invest like $50 or $100 into one of these projects. You know, we take ticket sizes of, you know, 50K upwards. So this all resonates with me, and, you know, it kind of all comes home when I can say to my sister, go put $100 in. You know, you don't need a MetaMask. You don't need to go and transfer money into an account and buy USDT and then go and buy, you know, bridge it to BUSD. You don't need to do any of that anymore. You know, we've created something that we know from experience that people need. And that is a platform that people outside of the Web3 sphere, we forget, because we so, like, you know, every person on the spaces forgets that no one knows how to use a MetaMask wallet. No one knows how to download one. People click on, you know, new people that come into the space click on links and they get hacked, and it's not very user friendly, and it's not sustainable at the moment. I'm not saying we're going to change the whole game, but what we are going to do is we're going to make it that if you want to invest into a Web3 fund and you don't want to look at it and you don't understand it and you don't want to do due diligence and you don't want to get wrecked, go put in your $50 or your $100. Or there might be people that want to put in $10,000. You can't put in $10,000 into a launch pad. You can go and do a whole lot of activities and stake things and do things to get into a draw, and maybe you'll get given $100 of something in a launch pad, and then you'll be locked in for 2 years with a vesting period. But you can't go put in $20,000, and that is something that we're offering. We're offering something to everyone, not just small fry, not just people that, you know, want to have a dabble. It's also for people that love Web3, but they're not getting early access, and they might want to go and sell one of their, you know, Bored Apes and put $20,000 into one of the funds because they've looked at all the due diligence that the council has presented, and they've gone, wow, this looks really cool. I like the look of all 8 of these projects. You know, let me put 20K in. On the other side of the coin, you might get someone like my sister that just wants to put in $50. So I think it's catering for the need of a lot of people out there. We haven't kind of come up with an idea on we haven't come up with an idea that's on a pitch deck and kind of selling it to the public. The platform is, you know, 80% done. We've been working on it for 14 months. So yeah, the ball's rolling, and I can't say it enough. We're just really excited to show the world what we've been building.
But we stopped actually just before the really cool part. Can I talk about that now? Totally, if that's okay.
Go for it.
I'm still finishing off answering your question from earlier.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the really cool part.
So I'll quickly talk about some of the strengths of the fund-based approach, and then I'll go and talk about the cool part, or one of the cool parts. The fund-based approach has a number of advantages for that casual investor. To John's point, they can quickly assess an investment thesis for a fund and say, I'm not interested in the metaverse. I don't believe in it. But look, infrastructure stuff over here with L1s and ZK rollups, that stuff, that's the future. I'm going to invest over there. But we also will show and workshop with the community all the due diligence for each of the projects as well. And you got to understand that the volume of projects that John would have seen or Kyle would see on a daily basis, or that I saw when I was doing merger and acquisitions in Activision. We have a lot of experience of pulling apart these projects. And we don't always get it right either, no more than anyone else. But we'll be able to do that in public, show the community what we're doing, and help engage them as well. Because part of our mission we see is not just enabling and empowering people to have those same kind of financial superpowers, but to educate them. You know, the SEC and various bodies like that often throw out how dumb all us retail investors are. We're not only poor, but we're dumb. But they only bring in enforcement actions. They don't bring in the other side, which is education. So we want to empower people and teach them how to do their own due diligence and get them involved in that process through the project. But what it offers to casual investors is it diversifies their investment and it spreads their risk. Not every project will succeed. So in a fund, your investment isn't based on just one or two projects, but a whole basket of projects, and you share in the profit as well as being protected from the risk across the whole fund. So that's a fairly a big point to make. But one of the biggest innovations we're bringing, I think, is the way we're doing the investments in the funds. When you invest into the fund, you are given a fund NFT as a receipt of that investment and how much money you've invested and when. And immediately that NFT can be split into one or many parts and sold in all or in part on the secondary market. That enables
that is super cool. You were right.
It is. It's unheard of, right? Like we're talking to. I mean, I've worked with VC funds. I spent most of my career doing due diligence of one sort or another for VCs, or I'm an angel investor myself, and I've been an entrepreneur myself, so I've been through it from both sides. And it's unheard of to be able to have that amount of liquidity while still having an active investment. People forget that when you invest into, let's say, an Andreessen Horowitz fund, for example, you're investing for 10 to 15 years, and your money is gone for that 10 to 15 years. You ain't getting it back unless it actually returns at the end a profit to you. Whereas at any time, you can sell your stake in the fund, or you can keep half of it and sell half of it. And we're playing around with ideas of meta fund NFTs, where you can actually merge NFTs from different funds back together and create a completely unique investment NFT based off the projects and funds within Commonwealth, and that itself would have its own utility. So lots of crazy things like that.
Yeah. Let's break that down a little bit. All right. So you're saying when a retail investor invests in a project, they receive an NFT as a sort of a certificate of that, which can be either split apart and traded, or they could just trade that NFT. They could sell it. They could sell their ownership, or their basically their investment, right? And so when the time comes to collect profit, if there's a new owner, it's going to go to the new owner. Is that right?
Correct. Yes. In proportion to the NFT.
Can I just jump in here quick?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah. So if you put in, let's just work on a number of $100, and you decide you're investing into a metaverse fund, and there's 8 projects in that fund, and let's just use any project as an example. Let's just say Citus Hero launches, and it does a, 15x. So now only one project is launched out of the 8 that you've invested into. But now all of a sudden your investment's gone up. So we will have on our platform a live pricing of the fund at today's rate. So now you will be able to go out and say, I want to recover my $100. So you'll go and sell 1/4 of your NFT, because you got to remember, people aren't going to pay full market value, because otherwise they would just go buy the token. So they might buy it at a discount. But you're happy with the discount because you're still getting, 4x or whatever it is in your money, and you want to de-risk. So you will go sell 1/4 of your NFT, and you'll keep 3/4 remaining in that particular fund. And then 2 months down the line, you'll log into the platform again, and you'll see the new value of that fund. And it might be up or it might be down, and you might decide to go and sell another quarter. You might decide to, sell all of it. So the reason we came up with that is because what we found in the last bull run, a lot of these projects were doing 50x's, 100x's, and because VCs have got a lock-in, we weren't being able to realize those profits. And so 100x would quickly turn into 40x and 30x and 20x. And then by the time it gets to 5x, you almost don't want to sell anymore as a VC, because that's not really what you committed to as a partner when you came on board. So this is just offering retail investors an opportunity to de-risk or to take profit as soon as they want.
Yeah, this is wild. Okay, so let me ask you something about the actual the profit, right? So it's monthly, right? So any project profits are returned back to the fund, which is distributed to the investors through staking and participation. So what what exactly constitutes profit? Like how is that calculated, right? So my mother invests $100 into this project. It goes into the fund. The fund allocates it to the project, right? The project gets profit the next month back to your fund. What is that like? What does it look like as far as is it based on the amount you've invested compared to the total, or explain that process a little bit?
Yeah, so basically, once the projects start returning tokens, whatever the vesting schedule is, we reach past the cliff, and then they start returning tokens monthly. Basically, investors are repaid their principal first, and only after all the investors have been repaid their principal do we consider the fund to be in profit. So at that point, we start taking the carry fee would come off the profit unless you've staked your wealth tokens, which will reduce the carry fee we're taking and increase your take home at that point. And then we've different types of funds as well, to John's point, right? There'll be capped funds, which will have potentially an end date. And then there'll be perpetual funds, which will be heavily indexed. So some of the mechanics on some of the perpetual funds we're still working out, because I think one of the important aspects, we're very far reaching, right? What we're talking about today is kind of the tip of the iceberg for where we can go, how we're planning on tackling some of these issues in the future. So the one piece I would say here is that we're not just building funds right now, which is kind of what we're selling you today. We're building an engine to build funds, and we're trying to build a community to power the engine. The whole point of this thing is to have this unstoppable machine that just keeps running away in the background in a fully decentralized manner, but allows people participate in different ways, if you like. So I'm not sure that I answer your question sufficiently totally on the profit I did. Okay.
Yes, yeah. That was good. And I just a quick break here. What's up, everybody? I know we've been talking about Commonwealth here, but I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, for listening. It's a really, really interesting project. We're going to go into a bit more detail into some of how this works and kind of what they've got going on next, because they have a Commonwealth OG mint, which has some interesting benefits, including token allocation, and they've got a second mint coming up. This first mint has done a 2x since launch, and if just based on the trajectory of that, as well as just look at the team members up here. Just open up Jonathan and Tony's profile and look at their bios. This is to me this seems like an unstoppable team. So I would definitely recommend you guys shoot them a follow, and also Commonwealth, to kind of see what they have going on. And also, I'm actually curious if anybody has any questions about kind of how this works. Drop it into the comments section. We could pin it to the top if we have time. So just a quick thing for you, Jonathan. About 20 minutes ago, you mentioned a number. You said 11 million. What was that number in reference to? Is that the total amount of capital you have to play with, or is that what you have allocated for the liquidity pool, or what is that?
No, so with any project or any company, you put a valuation on it, and we put a fair value on the company when we did the first raise, because we're very early stage and no one knew who we were and they didn't have access to a website. We put a valuation of $11 million. So that is the valuation that the Gen 1 guys bought in at.
Gotcha. Oh, that's the valuation.
Yeah, that's the valuation.
Right.
So if you go into CoinMarketCap, for guys that aren't that in tune with valuations, if you go into CoinMarketCap and you look at, I don't know, take any project, go look at Arbitrum, for example, go look at their fully diluted valuation. It's sitting at $6 billion. If you go look at Splinterland, which is a gaming project, it'll be sitting at, I don't know, $300-400 million. So that's how you gauge the valuation of the company. You look at the fully diluted valuation. That means that all the tokens will be in circulation. If you look at the market cap, which will be usually slightly different, because for the first year or 2 years, all of the tokens aren't in circulation. So if 20% of the tokens are in circulation because they're still getting released slowly, then it'll be 20% of the value of the fully diluted valuation. Sorry, for people that don't understand me, I'm not trying to sound technical. I'm trying to explain it as simple as possible. But anyway, yeah, the valuation of Commonwealth, when we did the first NFT sale, we put a value at $11 million.
Love it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I want to dive into this this second mint that you're about to do here, but I just want to give you a quick kudos. I'm a branding geek. I love when a company invests in in a good logo, a good name, good look, a good brand. You've nailed it. From the name, Commonwealth, you're representing the 99%, right? And opening this up to them to be able to invest in projects that normally the 1% has access to. So really, really good job there. Really excited for this to open up here. So your token sale starts here in about 10 days or so. Yeah, 10 days. That's exciting.
Yeah, token sales is going to be in about 3 months. The
3 months.
Gen 2 the Gen 2 NFT is going to be on the 22nd of May, and those NFTs are going to be available at $99 each.
And it's not currently listed on OpenSea, correct?
No. It's going to be a mint, so they're not available at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So just keep an eye out. Be careful, guys. There is a fake Commonwealth on OpenSea that is at 0.25. Don't touch that one. There's another one that's called Commonwealth Genesis NFT, and that one is yours. Is that correct?
Those are the Gen ones.
Yeah, there's
okay,
actually,
cool. Yeah.
What we're planning on doing is we're going to release a screenshot of the old S1 collection, because folks are upgrading that at the moment, and the new collection, so they can tell it from the imposters, because there's been a few fake accounts popping up, and it's like whack-a-mole trying to report them and get them taken down,
Yeah, for sure. So yours is, just to get this right, because I pinned up a collection to the top, your OG NFT has about 55 ETH in volume traded, correct?
Yes,
the correct
that's correct.
Okay,
that's
good.
Correct.
I pinned it to the top in case anybody wants to look at it. It's 3 pins down.
Cool. Just a comment there. If anyone is going to buy, please be careful, because there's a big gap between the buy and the sell. Don't pay any more than sort of like $1,000. I think the offer and the bid is, there's not many sellers, so don't just go and buy off the floor. If you are interested in buying, please go make an offer at, try it like $600 or $700. And if you're not successful, try the next day. It's not like there's hundreds of sales going through every second. I don't think you're going to miss out. So I wouldn't just go buy off the floor. We do have a really big advisor. I think everyone will know him, who's coming on board tomorrow. I'm not allowed to mention his name yet, but keep an eye on our Twitter, and you'll see who's coming on as an ambassador tomorrow. It's really exciting. And then
Super cool.
we're going to ramp up the marketing big time over the next 10 days. So I think you guys will see a little bit more movement in the secondary market, but please just be careful. There's just such a big gap between the buy and the sell.
Yeah. And actually I think we might be able to, I think in the Twitter spaces we're doing tomorrow. I think we might actually have that new announcement being made live and joining us on air, hopefully. Something we forgot to mention, John, both the Genesis Series 1 and the Series 2 will be able to be staked for additional rewards starting tomorrow. We'll be launching the staking page, at which point if you lock your NFT, Series 1 at the moment, obviously, and then from May 22nd, your Series 2, you will generate daily rewards, which will be claimable at TGE.
When is your app planned to be released?
Sometime October, November, probably mid to end of October at the moment, but that will really depend on the couple of beta tests we're going to be running in August and September with the community. But that's the expectation at the moment. Yeah.
So you got a really busy year ahead of you. You've got your second NFT collection that's going to be minting here in 10 days. You've got your token launch in 3 months, and then shortly after that is going to be your app that's going to actually activate all of this and allow retail to invest in these projects that you've done your due diligence on, right? These aren't shit coins. These aren't just your everyday launches in Web3. These are curated due diligence work that you've done for people, as well as educating people on how to actually do their own due diligence, right?
Yeah.
So you got
I think it's also very important to point out, these projects aren't going to be coming from Metaverse and from Master Ventures. These projects are going to be coming from the council. So we're hoping to have 20 council members on board, in the next year. And council members will be people from Silicon Valley. There'll be people from Web3. There'll be NFT specialists. It'll be a whole mix of people, and those guys get offered deals on a day-to-day basis. And if they're investing in it, they will bring it to Commonwealth and they will say, guys, we just invested in this project. I would like you guys to have a look at it. And that's when the due diligence process will start. And then after the due diligence, it'll get voted in and it'll get passed. And at that point, once it's passed, it'll enter into one of the funds. So it's not, the decision is not going to be made by one or two people. It's made by various different people.
Yeah. And they all have skin in the game, which is important too, right?
Yeah. Super cool. Okay. So let me just summarize all this. So Commonwealth is releasing an app that allows retail investors to invest in curated projects that have gone through due diligence through the council, which is going to be a group of savvy probably tech people, investors, VCs, Silicon Valley peeps, to make sure that kind of what goes in there has been vetted. Those funds are going to go to the project, right? And based on what the retail investor has put in, they get their share of profit every month. That investor also gets an NFT as sort of a certificate of their investment that they could split apart if they want to, sell those individually or sell all of it. And so that is all bundled up in an app that was created by one of the creators of Call of Duty, and like Tony, you've worked at Activision Blizzard, and all this stuff, and so it's got a gamification element, which is really, really cool because investing can be boring, but it sounds like you're trying to make it fun here. So with all of that, you've got 3 major launches this year. First of all, the second NFT, the token launch, as well as your app later this year. Is there anything that I missed in all of this, or anything else that you would want to add to let the audience know?
Bravo, you've got it, mate. You've got it. Do you want a job? Do you want to be on the council? No, you've summarized it really well, man. You've got it spot on. I mean, I don't know if we've got time, but I would love to see if there's anyone in the audience that wants to ask any questions. Like, we really love tough questions, and there's some things that we may have missed, with our 14 months of brainstorming and our once a week meetings. You know, there might be something we'd miss. So if anyone does have any questions, I don't want to take over your spaces, Tony. But yeah, I would love to hear one or two questions from the audience.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we have a hard stop in about 6 minutes or so here. But if anybody wants to raise their hand and come up, I think we could take a question or two. And I'm just looking through the comments here in the space itself to see if there's any interesting questions. I thought I saw one earlier. Let me find it here. Oh yeah. So Crypto Irwin asked, how is the investment going to be structured? Like, for example, total investment, one project is 250,000 for 500 NFT. Then holders can invest $500, or is it FCFS with min-max contribution? I don't know if you understood that.
Yeah, so if we have 8 projects and we're going to put it into a metaverse fund, and we decide we're going to take a $200,000 ticket into 8 projects across the board, that means that the fund size will be $1.6 million. And if you invest $200, 1.6 million, you know, your $200, you'll get a percentage of $1.6 million. If you put in $1.6 million into the fund, you will own the entire fund. If you put in $800,000, you will own half of the fund.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
I hope I explained that correctly.
Yeah. No, I think that was very well. Go ahead, Tony.
Just one other aspect is we're initially only doing token-based projects, but there are plans to do token and equity deals at some point. There's an enormous amount of flexibility in the model that we're doing, but we also have I guess we're quite prudent at the same time, right? We want to measure twice and cut once. So we're kind of doing things in very gradual steps, but we do have plans for very diverse funds and structures. And some of the community are even talking now about, you know, what are the possibility of funding through the community fund, which is entirely community driven rather than council driven. Some of the protocol profits can be invested into local projects or any project that's by the community. So folks now are asking about funding real world events and all kinds of things, you know, so lots of interesting conversations ahead.
Love it. All right. So with the time we have left here, we're going to be doing some giveaways to the people that have been sticking around and engaging. Rec, you want to touch on what those giveaways are?
Absolutely. Let's do it. And just real quickly before I get into that, I'm really enjoying this conversation. Jonathan, Tony, I love what you guys are saying here. I think it's a really unique and interesting idea. And I think that's much needed in this bear market here, especially with the shitcoin season kind of slowing down. There hasn't been too much excitement or innovation from the NFT side of things. So really looking forward to seeing how this project plays out. But yeah, let's get into the actual giveaway here. So I recently posted a $50 Pepe giveaway in the beginning of this space. I believe it's the second giveaway or the second pin tweet over. I have a few people in mind. I'm going to give everyone about 60 seconds. If you guys want a chance to win $50 in Pepe, go ahead, click that first tweet pinned as well. I'm just partnered up with Elon Money to give away a ledger. The winner of that will receive $150 in ETH. You could either, you know, hold on to the $150 in ETH or buy a ledger, completely up to you. So if you want a chance to win an additional $150, go ahead, like and retweet that pinned tweet. I'm going to give you guys about 60 seconds to do so, and then we could draw the winner for that first $50 giveaway.
Cool. And I believe Commonwealth is also giving away a couple whitelists for their Gen 2 mint. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, sweet. So the way we'll do that is actually, how do you want to do that, Rec? Do we want to do a Twitter picker after this for the people that have retweeted the space to get that whitelist, or do you want them to engage in some other way?
Let's leave it up to Jonathan and Tony. Do you guys have a preference?
No, that's fine. Listen, we're only going to give away 5, but we've enjoyed the spaces so much that we're going to give away 10. You know, most of the listeners have stayed. So, yeah. On top of that, we also want to give away 2 free ones. I'm probably going to get killed afterwards for this, but I've really, really enjoyed the spaces, and big up to you guys. Like I said the other night, I love what you guys are doing. People like you are so important to this space. Without you guys, it'd be really hard to speak about projects and to, explain what we're doing. As founders, it's easy to build behind the scenes, but to get the word out and to get communities involved is really, really challenging. So, thanks for letting us share our projects with your community. You guys have built it up over the last few years. We really, really appreciate it. And yeah, you guys are legends, man. So thanks for that.
It's been very nice to have you. I'm gonna do something that I kind of started doing recently for projects that I really, really like talking to. I've been recording this space, the visual, the video. I'm gonna grab a clip or two from this and send it over to you just so you can use it for just your own promotional material.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So just really, really quick, Elon Moist down here in the speaker he has a question. Let's try to make it really quick. A quick question and quick answer. Go ahead.
Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. What's your question?
Okay, so nice presentation, by the way. I've been following all through. So straight to my question, I would like to know about your NFT. How did you come about the name Commonwealth, and what did you plan to attach to your NFT by reason of this name?
That's a very interesting question. Believe it or not, so one of the things I found curious about the project was that it was managed as a community from day one. So it's very consensus driven. But the name took a long, long time for us to agree on. We went through a couple of different iterations. And John's laughing because it's still a matter of debate internally, because it's such a commonly used term. It's hard to differentiate yourself in the marketplace. Most times when you see Commonwealth, it's one word. We deliberately spell it as two words because that's what we're about. It's the ethos of what we're doing. Everything we're doing is for that community. So, Commonwealth, the clue's in the name. So it actually came from Kyle, come up with it. Some of the initial branding also came from Kyle as well.
Love it. Cool. A quick question for you guys, Jonathan and Tony. So you said that you're giving away 10 whitelist spots and 2 NFTs, right?
Yeah, 2 of the $99 NFTs and 10 whitelist spots. So I don't know how you want to choose it. I mean, Tony and I could randomly choose 2 people from your audience if you want to do it like that for the giveaways, and then you guys can allocate the whitelist spots.
Let's do this just because we have like literally 2 minutes left here. I'm going to run a Twitter picker to pick 12 winners. The first 2 will get the NFTs, and the other 10 will get the whitelist spots. And I'll paste that as a tweet attached to this.
Absolutely.
How's that sound?
Perfect. Great. Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
And you have to make sure you're following all of the speakers on stage, and we'll draw it. Hey, Rec, did you have a winner for the Pepe?
I did, yeah. So we have our $50 Pepe coin winner. I had someone else in mind, but they left the space. Like this always happens. I have someone in mind and then they bounce last minute. So just stick around for a few more minutes and you could have won. But the winner of the $50 in Pepe is Specimen. Congrats on the $50. You're always supporting. You've been here since I think the beginning of the space. You're following Commonwealth. You've retweeted their tweets. So we appreciate it. Congrats. Send me a DM for that. Quick reminder before we bring this space to a close. I just posted a $150 giveaway. It's the second pinned tweet. If you want a chance to win that, just give it a quick retweet. Relatively simple to do. And then we also have another AMA tomorrow with a project called Beyond Graph. We had them in our DGod space on Monday. I think it's a relatively interesting project, so we'll be doing some exciting things with them tomorrow as well. Just set a reminder. It's literally a push of a button. We always do some fun stuff. So if you guys want to hang out with us tomorrow morning, click on that pinned tweet. Just set a reminder for it. But once again, big thank you to Jonathan and Tony for joining us here today, as well as to everyone in the audience. We really do appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Tully, anything that you want to add to that?
No, that's it. I love talking to you guys and really kind of learning about this. I think you guys have done an amazing job of kind of like summarizing what it is that you do in your manifesto, and also the website here. So I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on you guys, and look out for a DM from me with a little gift.
Really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Absolutely. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow.